Good evening and a pleasant welcome to Kear Line, 45 minutes of news, views, and analysis on Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our global community. Today is Monday, February 10, 2025, and I am Mariama Jalloh presenting, and these are stories topping the headlines. The University of Liberia-based Student Unification Party calls for an immediate investigation into the death of student Lovetta Tamba, who allegedly died due to medical malpractices at the John F. Kennedy Hospital, gave authorities 72 hours to provide an update to, or face unspecified revolutionary actions. The 72 United Methodist Church disaffiliates from the United Methodist Church of Liberia aimed rising tension over the inclusion of homosexuality within the church, expressed a strong belief in traditional biblical teachings. The Congress for Democratic Change Council of Patriots gave a 72-hour ultimatum to the Bwaka Kun administration to protect Sam Gay and Director General of the National Security Agency, Prince Johnson, or Rick's promptive actions. And away from Liberia, South Africa law at center of Trump now challenge in court. Details of these plus other interesting developments are packaged in this news. I'm taking a short break to be right back. Welcome back and thanks for rejoining us. Let's now bring you the full bulletin of news with Princess Kamara. Good evening, Princess.
Good evening, Mariama. The Student Unification Party has called for an immediate investigation into the death of a student of the University of Liberia, student Lovett Tamba, who allegedly died due to medical malpractice at the John F. Kennedy Maternity Hospital. Speaking at a press conference on Monday, Subsecretary General Odysseus Omoba criticized the lack of response from JFK and the Liberia Medical and Dental Council despite efforts about Tama's family to demand justice. The party has given authorities 72 hours to provide an update on the case or face unspecified revolutionary actions. Meanwhile, Soup has also alarmed over what it described as the rising wave of mysterious deaths in the country, particularly among young people. The group accused the Bwakai Kum administration of failing to protect its citizens, stating that Liberia has become a vampire state where unexplained deaths occur daily. The University of Liberia campus based political group wants government to take immediate action to improve national security. They at the same time urge the government and the UL administration led by Dr. Maprian should provide buses for students at the Fendel campus and adequate seating on all UL campuses. The 72nd United Methodist Church, UMC, has officially disaffiliated from the United Methodist Church of Liberia amid raising tensions over the inclusion of homosexuality within the church. During an open church service held on February 9, 2025, a vast majority of the congregation 142 out of 162 expressed their opposition to same-sex marriage and rallied in support of their decision to withdraw from the UNC. In their statements, members expressed a strong belief in traditional biblical teachings and a desire to remain faithful to their interpretation of Scripture. According to them, such a decision by United Methodist Church has the ability to lead them, that's them to help. At the same time, the church action comes ahead of the 192nd Liberia Annual Conference of the UNC, which is currently taking place from in Bon County. This conference will address the UNC's general conference decisions are made April 2024, which favor regionalization law permitting same-sex marriage and the ordination of LGBTQ clergy members. These developments have been met with substantial resistance globally, leading to a wave of congregations choosing to disaffiliate. This, this place reflects not just the specific alone concerns of the 72nd congregation, but also highlights a growing and profound divide within the larger United Methodist Church, signaling ongoing debates along sexual inclusion and the future of organized religion in a changing societal landscape. The decision and decisions during the upcoming Liberal Annual Conference are likely to further influence the context and dynamics of faith communities around the world. The Congress for Democratic Change, a Council of Patriots, has issued a 72 hours ultimatum to the Buakai Kun administration to dismiss Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman, Director of Executive Protection Semge, and Director General of the National Security Agency Prince Johnson. Addressing a news conference on Monday, National Chairperson of the CDC COP for the massacre alleged that Mr. Johnson reportedly holds a Swiss passport, accusing him of a conflict of interest, abusing human rights, and torturing, harassing ordinary citizens to subdue them into fear or death. According to them, the CDC COP also has fired on EPS boss Assam Gay, detailing how he allegedly operates a killing squad with ex-combatants to harass immediate and kill critical citizens who criticize the president. Massacre further accused of police RG Gregory Coleman of showing gross disregard for the rules of law, thereby turning the police force into a compromised institution that serves a political interest rather than the citizens. The CDC Majority Auxiliary Group disclosed that since the inception of the Unity Party region, over 187 cases of mysterious deaths have been recorded under the joint security, that's the leadership of Gay, Johnson, and Coleman without proper investigation and prosecution of alleged perpetrators. He, however, disclosed that a failure on President Joseph Boakai to dismiss the truth on 72 hours will lead to establish the CDC police for the protection of citizens and other citizens. The National Health Workers Union of Liberia has urged government to fulfill its promise made during the October 2023 elections by providing food, benefits, and salaries for health workers. In a statement released over the weekend, and now would acknowledge the government's efforts to address some of the long-standing concerns regarding the welfare of health workers. According to the union, the January 2025 salary disbursement marks a positive step in fulfilling government's pledge to close salary gaps within the Ministry of Health. However, the union also raised concerns about significant issues that remain unresolved, adding that workers have not yet received salary increment. According to the release, some of the health workers have reportedly received adjustments below expectations, with a few even facing salary deduction instead of increment. The union also reminded the government of its commitment to constructing staff hostels in 3 counties, a project owner announced about the Ministry of Finance Development Planning for 2025. Now, would court for determining commencement of the project with the first quarter of the year, as it's crucial for improving the living conditions of healthcare workers in rural areas and enhancing the quality of public health services. Liberia's Foreign Affairs Minister Sarah Beslow Yanti has called on Liberians across the 15 countries to join the campaign as she launches the Liberian government a bid for a non-permanent seat on the UN, that's United Nations Security Council. Speaking at the official launching ceremony at the Centennial Memorial Pavilion in Monrovia Monday, Foreign Minister Yantin says Liberia's bid represents the country's commitment to global peace and multilateralism. She indicated that Liberia is as a founding member of the Organization of African Unity, now African Union, and the Economic Community of West African States. The, the opportunity will advance African agenda. According to her, a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council will create the right of foreign investment and strengthen international diplomatic relations. And therefore, all Liberians, regardless of their political background and ethnicity, relations background must support the government in its quest. Meanwhile, the co-chair of the steering committee of Liberia's Beit Rigidas, Regina Gurich, disclosed that Liberia has gathered significant support from its counterparts in Africa, including the African Union and ECOWAS. The student representative of the University of Liberia has expressed frustration over what he describes as the institution failure to prioritize a student interest, terming it as a cartel that yields no fruit for them. Speaking to reporters on Monday, William Sando criticized the current state of the university despite Bwakai Kun administration's allotment of US 32.4 million to the institution. Sando added that the University of Liberia remains in poor condition with little to show for the government's financial support. He further revealed that repeated calls for an audit of the university finances have gone unanswered, deepening student frustration regarding the 32.4 million budget allocation. Sando warned that students will demand accountability from the university's administration if proper care is not taken. The student representative lamented that the challenges include students that stood in chairs to attend classes while paying registration fees of no less than 2,500 Liberian dollars, noting that there are no available buses for transportation. He also called on the administration to review the enrollment process, highlighting the difficulty students face when writing their entrance exams and securing admission letters. Sando further called on the UN administration to provide emergency funding to address these pressing issues, warning that failure to do so could lead to a major student protest. The Speaker of the Majority Bloc of the House of Representatives, Richard Cohn, has advanced talks with speakers of parliament from African Atlantic states aimed at gathering support for that's Liberia's non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. According to Representative Cohn, he made a passionate appeal to his fellowship speaker to support Liberia's bid for the UN Secretary, that's Security Council. He added that Liberia has played an instrumental role in fostering regional peace, economic cooperation, and to combat illicit financial flows, amongst others. The majority bloc speaker at the same time noted that securing a permanent seat on the UN Security Council requires unity, strategy, and diplomatic engagement. Bon County Senator Prince Moi has lauded President Joseph Boakai for his fight against corruption in the country. Speaking with reporters at the opening of the February term of court in Bangka Bon County, Senator Moy noted that the government is making frantic efforts in the fight against corruption in Liberia. The Bon County lawmaker added that the action of President Joseph Boakai to suspend officials of government across the country due to corruption is constitutional. He, however, deplored the government for taking the initiative of buying vehicles of four counties Anthony, terming it as a great step to making the justice system vibrant. He noted that it's the first time in 7 years for a sitting government to purchase a vehicle for Antonines of the counties, describing it as a significant milestone to keep the justice system stronger. And the National Health Workers Union of Liberia is urging government to fulfill its promise made during the October 2023 elections, particularly the increment of health care workers' benefits and salaries. According to a statement, National Health Workers Union of Liberia acknowledged the government's efforts to address some of the long-standing concerns regarding the welfare of health workers across the country. That's the shift of the news bulletin. Mariama.
Thank you, Princess Kamara. And the news bulletin is a regular feature here on Kear Newsline. Let's now bring you the voices of those making the news, starting with this development. The student representative of the University of Liberia has expressed frustration over what he described as the institution's failure to prioritize students' interests, terming it as a cartel that yields no fruits for them. Speaking to reporters on Monday, William Sander criticized the current state of the university despite the Boakakun administration allotment of US 32.4 million to the institution. Sando added that the university remained in poor condition with little to show for the government's financial support.
Now we won't get. And still students are paying the fees. That alone is considerable. That students will still be confronted with armchair.
Liberia William Sando there speaking. The Student Unification Party has called for an immediate investigation into the death of a student of the University of Liberia, student Lavetta Tamba, who are alleged to die due to medical malpractice at the John F. Kennedy Hospital. Speaking at a press conference on Monday, Subsecretary General Odysseus Mulba criticized the lack of response from JFK and the Liberia Medical and Dental Council, despite efforts by Tamba's family to demand justice. The party has given authorities 72 hours to provide an update on the case or face unspecified revolutionary actions. Meanwhile, Soup has alarmed over what it described as the rising wave of mysterious death in the country, particularly among young people. Yes, sorry, we cannot bring you that voice. The National Fisheries and Aquaculture Authority has turned over a patrol vessel to the Armed Forces of Liberia to enhance the AFL Coast Guard operations. NAFA Executive Director Emma Glasgow described the turning of the patrol vessel as a milestone achievement to the long-standing relationship between the AFL and NAFA. She noted that the patrol vessel will help enhance the operation of the AFL Coast Guard on Liberia's waters and strengthen the partnership that exists between the two entities. Madam Glasgow further disclosed that the donation was made possible by the government of Wesley, the United Kingdom. Also speaking, the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia, General Davison Follett, highlighted the numerous challenges faced by the Coast Guard despite generating revenue for the government of Liberia. He lauded the leadership of Madam Emma Glasgow and her team at the NAFA for the donation, terming it as a significant contribution towards protecting Liberia's waters. The voice of General Davison Fuller. Earlier on, you listened to the General Director of the National Fisheries and Aquaculture Authority, Emma Glasgow. Welcome back and thanks for rejoining us. If you are just tuning in, you are listening to Kear Newsline, 45 minutes of news, views, and analysis on Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our global community. Today is Monday, February 10th, 2025, and these are stories topping the headlines. The University of Liberia-based Student Unification Party calls for an immediate investigation into the death of a student, Lovett Tumba, who allegedly died due to medical malpractice at the John F. Kennedy Hospital, gives authorities 72 hours to provide an update or face unspecified revolutionary actions. The 72nd United Methodist Church this affiliate from the United Methodist Church of Liberia aimed at raising tension over the inclusion of homosexuality within the church, expressed a strong belief in traditional biblical teachings. The Congress for Democratic Change Council of Patriots gave a 72 hours ultimatum to the Walker Coon administration to dismiss Police Inspector Gregory Kamara, Director of Executive Protection Sam Gay, and Director General of the National Security Agency Prince Johnson or Rick's punctuate actions. And away from Liberia, South Africa law at central of Trump now challenge in court. Let's now bring you more developments. Majority bloc of the House of Representatives, Richard Cohen, has advanced talks with Speaker of Parliament from Africa Atlantic states aimed at gathering support for Liberia's non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. According to Representative Kuhn, he made a passionate appeal to his fellowship speakers to support Liberia's bid for the UN Security Council. He added that Liberia has played an instrumental role in fostering regional peace, economic cooperation, and combat illicit financial flows, amongst others. The voice of Speaker of the Majority Bloc Richard Cohn. The Congress for Democratic Change Council of Patriots has issued a 72-hour ultimatum to the Boakakun administration to dismiss Police Inspector General Gregor Comer, Director of Executive Protection Sam Gay, and Director General of the National Security Agency Prince Johnson. Addressing a news conference Monday, National Chairperson of the CDC COP for the massacre alleged that Mr. Johnson reportedly holds a Swiss passport, accusing him of conflict of interest, abusing human rights, and torturing and harassing ordinary citizens to seduce them into fear and death. According to him, the CDC-COP has a file is EPS boss Sam Gay detailing how he alleged operates a killing squad with ex-combatants to harass inmates and kill critical citizens who criticize the president.
After 72 hours, it is the men having met. The CDCCOP wants to officially declare that the current NMP structure is operating as a united party police. Eh? The current structure is operating as a united party.
CCOP chairperson for the massacre deaths. Bond County Senator Prince Moyi has lauded President Walker for his fight against corruption in the county. Speaking with reporters at the opening of the February term of court in Bangabong County, Senator Moyi noted that the government is making frantic efforts in the fight against corruption in Liberia. The Bond County lawmaker added that the action of President Walker to suspend officials of government accused of corruption is constitutional. however, applauded the government for taking the initiative of buying vehicles for county's attorney, terming it as great step to making the justice system vibrant.
That's why the government, first year allocated money to procure vehicles for judges. That's first in 6 years, almost in 7 years, to procure zero pickups for us, county attorneys. That's first in 7 years. So it tells you how we take the distinction of justice very seriously. How do you expect the county attorney here to go to Balatoa, to go to Bogota, to the magisterial area, to plead on behalf of a client that was forced to do? Is that what should be held back? I don't think that they can do that. So you can't create that in every environment for judicial actors to move easily. So we have provided for the judges, we have provided as a government for the county attorneys, and it's just not believable that those that don't want to follow the rules or the laws of the country can be the ones to enable and actively the judiciary to be empowered to dispense justice to the citizens of Liberia. So we are quite a fool. We have also raised our president to pay retroactively judges that their salaries were formalized by the law. They are not allowed to make business. They are not allowed to venture into anything. And for the previous government to take decision to formalize their salary, that was something very bad.
The Liberia's Foreign Affairs Minister Sarah Bates-Loyanti has called on Liberians across the 15 counties to join the campaign as she launches the Liberian government bid as a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. Speaking at the official launching ceremony at the Continental Memorial Pavilion in Monrovia on Monday, Foreign Minister Yanti said Liberia's bid represents the country's commitment to global peace and multilateralism. Meanwhile, the co-chair of the steering committee of Liberia's bid, Reginald, disclosed that Liberia has gathered significant support from its counterparts in Africa, including the
The
African
economy
Union.
had the women as many speakers have said before me, to championing
And I
freedom and
see it.
justice on the continent of Africa.
I
However, this will be
finished
our
saying you
first
are
time to actually get a full seat at the UN Security Council, noting that the opportunity we had in
and I
1961
want
was
to
a
do.
split term review due to issues at the Security Council. Liberia stands at a
Yeah, I
point
said I
where
feel it.
some
I did it
believe we
for
should
you.
and some believe we shouldn't. But I stand here today with full conviction, not only as the Minister of Foreign Affairs under the leadership of President Joseph Boyka, but as a Liberian woman, a Liberian mother, a Liberian grandmother, a girl from Chipmunk who has her roots in Basel and Broadview, indivisible me who cannot be divided by tribe or ethnicity to say, Liberia must be on the Security Council, Liberia deserves to be on the Security Council, and Liberia will be on the Security Council 2026-2027.
The voice of Liberia's Foreign Affairs Minister Sarah Bates Loyanti. And away from Liberia, a legal challenge against a controversial new land seizure law at the center of a war with US President Donald Trump has been filed by the Democratic Alliance, which is part of South Africa's coalition's government. The Expirations Act allows for private land to be seized by the government without compensation in certain cases. Trump has frozen foreign aid to the country as a result of urging that land is being confiscated already. The government, which is made up of 10 parties led by the African National Congress, said the US president's action were based on campaign of misinformation and propaganda aimed at misrepresenting our great nation. This development is taking us home, but before we leave, we bring you a recap of the headlines. The University of Liberia-based Student Unification Party calls for an immediate investigation into the death of student Lovett Tamba, who allegedly died due to medical malpractice at the John F. Kennedy Hospital. Gives authorities 72 hours to provide an update of phase unspecified revolutionary actions. The 72nd United Methodist Church disaffiliates from the United Methodist Church of Liberia aimed raising tension over inclusion of homosexuality within the church, expressed a strong belief in traditional biblical teachings. The Congress for Democratic Change Council of Patriots gave a 72 hours ultimatum to the Bwaka Kun administration to dismiss Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman, Director of Executive Protection Sam Gay, and Director General of the National Security Agency Prince Johnson or Rick's punctive actions. In away from Liberia, South Africa law at central of Trump rule challenge in court. Many thanks to our listeners and all those who helped in making this program a success. This is our Jordan our curtains on today's edition of Care Newsline. James Walkway sat at control and George Sese brought us the visuals. On behalf of the entire news team here, my name is Mariama Jalloh. I presented. Good evening.